When you're just getting started with investing in real estate, it may feel a bit daunting when deciding what lists you should pull and why. In this video, I'll be going over the top 3 lists to pull when looking for those motivated sellers. Welcome to BatchTV. My name is Landry Morby, and my main goal for these short videos is to provide you with insider tips and tricks you can easily apply to your own business to take it to that next level. Now, disclaimer, some of this information may be blurred out to protect privacy information on YouTube, but you will see the full thing on your Batch Leads account. When you're looking for the best lists with wholesaling or any type of real estate investing, you want to be looking for off-market properties, distressed properties, and owners that are motivated to sell. That can look like many different things, such as going into pre-foreclosure, defaulting on taxes. Maybe they just have an extra vacant property that they are no longer attached to, and you'd be solving a problem to take that off their hands. Whatever you're needing and looking for, you can do that all within Batch Leads, and I'm here to show you how easy that can really be. So we're going to jump into my Batch Leads account and go over to the list search, an awesome tool that you can look up properties in any given market nationwide. So we'll jump in here where I can look up a specific address, city, zip code, or county, or I can even draw out a boundary, which is really cool. So if you're trying to avoid a river or a railroad track of some sort, you're able to draw around that and be super specific. So I'm just going to go into the location search. So we're going to be looking in Phoenix today. So I'll go ahead and enter that in there and search that up. So you can see over to the right, currently it's pulled up over 448,000 properties, but we haven't applied any filters yet. So the very first list we're going to be going into is absentee owners with high equity. Now, what is an absentee owner? An absentee owner is somebody that owns the property but does not live there. They are therefore absent from it. So they could have a tenant. They could just have a vacant property. They are not there and are completely absent. So we'll just go into the filters and start applying some of the things that I want to be pulling for this first list. Now, the first place I'll go is to this occupancy status filter, where you can go in and specify if you want to be looking for owners that live at the property they own or they're absentee, which is what I want to do in this case. So I'm going to do in and out of state. I don't care where they're living. I just don't want them living in that property they own. We're going to also go down to some of the additional filters, so many different things you can do, like property characteristics, how many bedrooms, bathrooms there are, whatever you're needing to do. So we're going to go down to MLS status. Like I mentioned earlier, you want to be looking for off-market properties. So when you go on Zillow or Realtor.com and you see all these active listings, you want to do the opposite. You want to get away from that extreme competition and find those off-market deals. So we'll go to on-market as no. So I'm going to go down to valuation and equity. So if somebody has high equity, they're basically going to be walking away with more cash in their pocket when they sell that property. So I want to be giving them another basically, point of motivation for them to let that property go. So I'll go up to 40% for now, and you can play around with this. So I might switch it around depending on how many properties pop up. So I'll just click that and leave that alone and press apply. See what we get here. A quick filter down here where you can see if you hover over these little question marks, we specify these as single family residences owned for 10 plus years and built before 1990. So I want them to have a little bit of wear and tear. They probably need some updates at this point. So I'm going to be targeting those. And you can see that there are, when I click on this quick filter, a little over 6,000 properties. So you could go back into your filters and narrow that down and niche it down if you wanted to. For me, I'm just going to click on this for example purposes and just grab a few, but you can go back in there and get super granular just depending on what you're wanting to put on your filters. So I'll go to select in the top right-hand corner where I could select all 6,000 of these if I want to, save them to my account. I could look at the property details by clicking on an address, or I could just grab a select few. So I'm going to just grab 100 of these just for an example to show how to save these and put this into my account by clicking add. And then the system will want you to save this to a list and a tag. How we think of lists and tags within batch leads are like filing cabinets and file folders. So when I'm organizing my properties, I think of, for example, my pre-foreclosure list is a standalone filing cabinet, and when I open the drawer, there's a bunch of different file folders like the dates I pulled them, the markets, whatever that looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and select a list that I have within my account, put this on my tired landlords list, and I'm going to create a tag. So I'm going to be creating a basically folder to slip into my tired landlords drawer. So I'm going to go and name this with a few different specifications, maybe some of the filters you used, once again, the market or the date. So I'm going to name this Phoenix AZ, absentee, tired landlords, and high equity. With the date, of course, just to keep that nice and organized. And there we go. All right, so once you have typed that out, you can go ahead and save those properties. Now, also a reason why we name them this way is so that it's super easy to refer back and find exactly what you're looking for in the future as you continue pulling more and more lists. So I'll go ahead and save this. Now we're going on to list number 2, which is vacant properties. So with vacant properties, those can be a level of motivation because somebody's not living there. You know, maybe it has really overgrown grass and deferred maintenance outside. The roof is damaged. Nobody's taking care of it. Somebody lives out of state and just forgot about it. Whatever that might look like, this is a great list to pull as they might not be attached to that property. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to go back and I'm still going to just stick in Phoenix, and I'm going to go to my filters and clear out my previous ones first. Reset those. Okay, so now we have a clean slate. I'm going to start with occupancy status. I, of course, want them to be absent. I don't want anybody at that property. The owner is absent from it. And then vacant, I want the property to be vacant here. So I'll go ahead and apply that. And then on top of that, I also want to go, you never want to forget the MLS status. You want these to be off-market properties. So go to on market as no. And then finally, I do want to put the ownership length just because you never really want to be going for properties that have been owned for less than 3 years. And the more they've owned it or the longer they've owned it, the better and the higher motivation they're likely to have. So I'll go down now to the ownership info. So many different filters you can choose from here, which is awesome. And I'm just going to start with a minimum of 10 years of ownership. So you can change this. If you end up getting too little of a list or too large, you just come back into your filters and adjust that so you can find that perfect list and amount that you're wanting. So I'll go and press apply. See what we get here. And there you go. So I'm really happy with this list. I found a little over 1,400 properties. So it'll be an awesome list to pull off and start marketing to, whatever that's going to look like for you. So same process, you'll select them and then add them to a list and a tag in an organized way. Okay, so list number 3 is empty nesters. These are property owners like mom and dad. They had a bunch of kids, and then one day they grew up and went to college, and now they're not living with mom and dad anymore. They're probably 50 years old or older. They probably have a large house that accommodated their whole family, and now they have all this extra space they have to maintain, they have to air condition, and they don't need to. So this is a great list that those property owners might have not even thought about selling until you've brought it up. So I love this list. We're going to go into it the same exact way, where we'll go into, I'm going to go to Phoenix once again and pull up my filters, make sure that's cleared out. And the first thing I'll go to is making sure they're off market. They're probably not thinking about selling their property at this point, so they're not going to be listed as active, basically. So we're going to also go down to the ownership info, and I want them to own this for, let's do 10. I could change this maybe 7 to 10 years, and we'll just start with 10 at this point. Minimum, and then we're also going to do a few things within property characteristics. I like to start off with a minimum of 2 stories. Maybe all of their kids' bedrooms were upstairs. They're probably not going up and downstairs very much. So I'm going to start with that. And I like to do a minimum of 4 bedrooms as well. So lots of bedrooms they're probably not utilizing at this point. So I'm going to go down to another really awesome filter we have under demographics. This is where it gets super nitty gritty, all about the property owners. So I want to start off with the age. We'll go with 50. So they have to be a minimum of 50 years old or older at this point. And I'm also going to check off yes for children. So they definitely have children. That gives me a better idea of what I'm really looking for. And I'll stick with that and press apply, see what we get. So over to the right, you can see that I have a list of 2,100 properties. So same idea, I'm going to go and select these and add them to my empty nesters list with a tag of where I found that, whatever market you're in, maybe any additional filters that I want to keep track of, and of course the date. So once again, you want to be looking for distressed properties, off-market deals, and the most motivated sellers that are ready to let go of that property. Thank you for joining us on BatchTV. I hope it was helpful and this will allow you to pull lists with confidence. If you like this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so we can continue giving you educational content for free. And don't forget to leave a comment if you guys want to see something additional in the future. And check out our knowledge base page if you ever need help.